Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I'm at the Health Span Summit. Let me tell you, Elias and his crew put on quite an event. This was a multi-day event. I came last year, and this year was even bigger. And my next guest is Jane. Jane, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Jane. So, what an experience. I know this is day 2 or day 3, depending on the VIPs that were here for the
Yep.
full experience. What'd you think?
I loved it. I think the quality of the speakers, the topics, and the range of topics
Yeah.
was absolutely amazing. I wasn't able to catch everything, so I'm excited to see the recap, maybe get to listen to some of the speakers that I missed.
So, your connection to either Elias, Healthspan Summit, the event, is this your first year? Give me some of the backstory.
Yeah, so I've met Elias at previous events. And so for HealthSpan specifically, we became the official water sponsor. So I'm the founder of the Good For company. We do water optimization,
Yeah.
Clear Home, that kind of thing. So we came in, we sponsored the water for the event. So everybody was very well hydrated, feeling great. And we actually also took care of the water for the cold plunges that were in the vitality zone. So
How'd you get into the water business?
it's so funny. I heard that so many times today. My husband, when I was pregnant for the first time, we have 3 kids. I was 25, knew nothing about, health and wellness. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, water came up as a big topic. And so
Interesting.
I was looking at a solution for my home. And what I really didn't like was the approach that people took. So I felt like everything was just sale, sale, sale. They weren't really hearing what I was saying or what I was asking. And if I was asking something, because I do a lot of research, like once I go down a rabbit hole,
So,
I'm in
you're
it.
one of those people that gotta know.
I
You
gotta
know
know.
things.
Yeah, and I can tell,
Not
was it
everybody
okay to
knows
curse a little
things.
bit? I can smell bullshit from like miles away,
Yeah.
So I just didn't appreciate the process and I felt very turned off to it.
Mm.
And so it got me thinking, like I've always been a problem solver in my life. It's like fun for me. And so I just got to thinking, I was like, how many people like myself are discouraged because they didn't appreciate or they didn't get what they needed to out of this, sales pitch or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And how many people walk away from something that's so critically important just because they had a bad experience, right?
Mhm.
And actually now with my clients, I get this a lot. They'll say, oh, wow, after a 20-minute phone call, they're like, I've had, 4 people come out to my house, pitch me, but after 20 minutes, I've already learned 10 times more than I did in any of those presentations. So for us, it's really important to, first of all, continuously educate
Mhm.
ourselves and our
Yeah.
clients as well, but really draw attention to how foundational clean water is to all of our wellness efforts. I think, I've been going to these biohacking longevity, sort of conferences for a
Yeah.
little while now, and I just think that it's still it's a topic that people are aware of, but it's not really talked about
Yeah,
as
for
much as
sure.
it should be. Certainly, there's
Yeah.
people that are like, oh, I do this and this and this to my water, but really understanding the role that it plays and how it undermines so many of our wellness efforts. So you
Yeah.
have these supplements, you have all these things that you're doing, these stacks. You're spending thousands of dollars in wellness clinics for EBOO, blood cleanings, like
Yeah.
all this stuff. But if you're not taking care of the water that you're exposed to constantly throughout the day, think about how many times you wash your hands,
Yep.
when you brush your teeth, wash your face, to shower, obviously, right?
Mhm.
You interact with water so many times a day.
Of course.
So that water should really be at its absolute best.
So, when did this become a business for you? Like, how did you know that this was going to be a business? So, you went down, I think you used the word rabbit hole.
Yes.
So, you went down this rabbit hole. You obviously learned a bunch. How'd you know it'd be a business, though? Where'd you see the opportunity?
Well, that's a good question. I decided I could do it better. And I just wanted
Was
to
this
be
during the research phase? Was this
during the
after,
research phase.
you knew, was this a month in, a week in? I'm
A couple
curious.
years.
Years in of
It was a
research.
couple of years. Well, not of just research. We
Yeah.
were also running the plumbing and HVAC company, right?
Okay. So, there was
Simultaneously.
another company that was somewhat,
Yeah.
they're different, but you had a skill set of being an entrepreneur running companies.
Yes,
I understand.
exactly.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
so
Continue.
then after a while, it was just like, actually, I was developing an app at the same time. I feel like that's so cliche. Everybody was doing some sort of tech thing.
No. So, you're a
And
serial entrepreneur. Would you use that term?
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
So I was just kind of at a fork in the road where I was like, okay, I either throw all my weight behind this, and
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about water. Like I just went to Japan in May for water conference for
Yeah.
aquaphotomics and really studying how how light, how you can use light spectroscopy to determine illness in
Mm.
animals and human beings, and not just illness, but maybe you can determine how healthy they are. So just constantly pursuing, the educational piece. But my point is this, is I really was like, okay, well, do I feel like I would do this tech thing if no one paid me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Would I be freakishly passionate about water for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have so many incredible anecdotal stories about, like for example, I had a client who her daughter suffers from several ailments.
Mm-hmm.
Health wise, uses an inhaler. She used to use an inhaler like 4 to 6 times a day.
Mm.
When we took care of her water, both her drinking water and the water that she's showering with,
Mm.
she dropped down to once, maybe twice a day.
Mm.
So by removing these toxins, from our airways, from our water, it's made a huge difference. So to me, there's nothing more rewarding than being able to leave somebody genuinely 100% of the time in a better position than when I found them. And like that lights my fire. I will
Mm.
pursue that till my last breath.
Yeah. So as you've gone into the marketplace, you're talking about water, about good water.
hmm
What do you think has been some of the challenges for people to kind of understand what you're doing and how you're trying to help them?
I think the hardest thing for folks is that understanding that safe or that legal doesn't necessarily mean safe.
Hmm.
So there's such a discrepancy between what's federally allowed
Yeah.
and what's really recommended, like maximum contamination level from the health community, for example. And there's such a huge discrepancy. And so having people, I'll hear, oh, I got my water report from the city, on a yearly basis they'll send, and it was all fine.
Do
And
people actually say that to you?
yes, not very many.
I
I
was gonna say, like,
yeah.
I'm like thinking about I got my water report from the city. Who the heck says that? I didn't know. There's somebody
They send
somebody that
it's like a
says that.
newsletter style that they send out.
And
And so
first off, if you receive that anything from the city, period, you're gonna believe that.
sketchy. Yeah,
First, just
immediately.
as soon as they send it to me, if I was to read that, I'd be like,
What are
oh,
you hiding?
now there's something wrong.
Yeah, for sure. But we're in this
I'm
space.
American. I'm sorry.
I know,
So that's the
I
way I
feel
think.
that. I feel that. But we're also, look, we're conditioned a certain way, right? And you and I are in this space
Yeah.
where
Why
we're
are they sending me a report? Like, what are they hiding?
exactly. But the issue is like, okay, so even if on the report it says it's fine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the problem is that this is how I phrase it. I'm like, oh, okay, they passed the test. Well, what was on the test?
Yeah.
Did they ask the
What's the
hard
sample
questions?
size?
Meaning,
What's the
did
yeah.
they test for the arsenic? Did they test for all these things that don't even have a legal federal limit?
Mm.
So it's like everything that's really harming our health, and all those limits are set based on budget,
Yeah.
not based on health.
It's like inflation. We just take stuff out of the calculation that don't match
doesn't
what
work.
we want. Yeah, we'll take it out of the calculation and we'll keep the number low if we need to.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
it.
So that makes a lot of sense. Now we're alarming people about their water. Yeah, be alarmed. It's okay.
Be alarmed. I'm not a fan of fear mongering, but I feel like this is something that because there's such a big void, like there's just such a big discrepancy in that information, that really understanding that, even as something as simple as chlorine that is in everybody's city water,
Mm.
understanding that by default, if you have chlorine, you have byproducts, trialomethanes, all of that. And those things are more volatile, meaning like, let's say you're using a pot of boiling pasta. Okay. I have 3 kids. Pasta is like a big thing.
What you eat.
Well, not exclusively, but sometimes it's nice and easy. So boiling a pot of water, you're thinking like, oh, I'm boiling away all the things. No, you're doing 2 things. You're concentrating any metals that are in the water.
Mm.
So it's only becoming more concentrated because now there's less water. So it's more concentrated, making its way into the food. And then the next thing is whatever you're boiling away that is like chlorine can kind of be boiled away. Chloramine's more stable. So when that is being boiled away, it's in your air.
Mm.
So if your window is open, like let's say you're taking a shower,
Yeah.
all that steam, you're breathing that in. So not only is it on your skin, which is your largest organ, but it's making its way into your airway. So it's something that at a fundamental level, before you invest into crazy, I mean, red light's amazing, but I'm just using an example,
Yeah.
right? Like get all the things, but you have to lock in your water to make sure that everything else that you're doing you're not undermining it with the quality of the water. If you're buying organic, please don't wash those fruits and veggies in chlorinated tap water. It makes no sense.
Mm.
Because it's riddled with pesticides, herbicides, especially in California. We have agriculture all around us. So it's a big thing.
Dang, Jane, you got me thinking about water.
I
I just washed my hands in this bathroom in this freaking hotel or wherever we're at too. What?
Yeah, I know. It's something I travel with
How
a
do you-
shower filter.
How do you feel healthier after all this time and being down this path? Like, how do you feel?
I feel really good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too, like, again, I can go on about this for hours and I know we're kind of on a time crunch, but I think that understanding that you need to get your simple things down first. So for biohackers, longevity seekers, like all the gadgets and stuff are really cool, but
Yeah.
you know what's cooler than a red light is going outside. And you want to set your
Yeah.
circadian rhythm. You don't really need your aura ring for that. You need to put your feet on the ground, stand outside, first morning sun.
Mm.
Also, look at the sun. Well, not look at the sun, but be with the
Yeah.
sun when
There
the
you
sun
go.
is setting, if possible, even for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And just watch how much your body's quite intelligent. So if you work on maybe removing more things than adding,
Mm.
you'll see how much your body and your mind and your spirit can really thrive.
Amazing. So how do people work with you? Like, talk to me about that. Like, how do they get good water?
Well, you book a consultation, either myself, I'm still very much involved in the quote unquote sales process. I don't like calling it that. Let's say
I like
consultation
saying it.
process.
Sell. You gotta sell. It's all
Sell
good.
for sure, but my goal during that conversation is like if you have something in place that's working for you,
Sure.
but we can optimize it,
No,
I'm
but
never going to tell you to take it out. So
yeah.
my goal is not to take as much money from you as possible. It's really I just want to lock in your water
Yeah.
quality. So you get on a call with myself or one of my, teammates
Mm-hmm.
and we get to know each other. Hey, what's your home like? What are your
Yeah.
concerns? Where do you live? I pull up your water quality report using the EWG, which you guys, by the way, it's such a great free resource. They're doing incredible work.
Mm.
EWG.org, they have a tap water database. So if you can't afford to test your water yourself,
Yeah.
because it's a couple $100, I understand, you can look up the EWG by zip code and you can see what you're up against. So
Yeah.
we work together. It's a collaborative sort of experience, and I really try to tailor, the solution based on what you need, what's going to be long lasting also for you, but also what works within your budget as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Last thing I want you to do, Jane, look into the camera. How do people follow up? How do they connect with you and your team?
So you can visit us at thegoodforco.com, and that's TheGoodforCo.com. That's also all of our handles too. So the Good For Co, Instagram, so on.
Yeah.
Just book a consultation and no high pressure sales or anything. We're just going to chat and we'll see what you need.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Jane, it's been such a pleasure having
Such
you
a
on.
pleasure. Thank you.